Hey there, it's Brittany Chavers, and I'm back today with Dress It Up buttons, and we're going to make some fun jewelry, fun and easy jewelry projects using these Cinderella buttons. We're going to make 3 different projects. None of them are going to coordinate, but they're a way to use up these really cute buttons. The first item that we're going to make is an easy memory wire bracelet. We're going to use the cute little Cinderella button. We aren't going to alter the button at all. I usually do that with these videos, but this one I'm just going to leave whole, just like that. I am going to grab some memory wire, and I'm going to grab some gold seed beads from Jessie James Beads, and some check glass aqua matte pearls from Jessie James Beads. These are 8mm. And I grabbed a pack of fairy dust flowers from Dress It Up buttons, and I'm going to grab this blue little button from there. So all I'm going to do is decide how long I want the bracelet. I think I want this 2 or 3 coils. I usually get to 2 coils and then I'm happy with how it looks, but I'm going to cut 3 off, and then if I only want to do 2, that'll be fine. We want to make sure that we use only memory wire cutters when we're cutting memory wire. Otherwise, you're going to damage your nice nippers. So here is 1 loop, 2, and then I'll cut at 3. A really good tip when you're making memory wire bracelets, if you want to end the memory wire bracelet with a loop, I always do 2 loops. So instead of just doing 1, sometimes memory wire is hard to guide, and sometimes when we're closing it, it might leave a gap, and those can be potentially hard to close. So I just keep going, and I'm going to do another full rotation. So if we want to put a charm on the end, we'll just use a jump ring. I'm going to do a really easy pattern. I think this will just be super cute with the seed beads and the pearls, and then the really adorable Cinderella right in the middle. I'm going to start with a seed bead and then layer on a pearl, and I'm going to do that until I get to the middle of the bracelet so I can put on my button. I have about 1.5 coils filled with our pearls. Then I'm going to slip on my little button just like it was a bead. I'm going to let that slide down. And she's just going to rest right next to that pearl, and then I'm going to fill in the next 1.5 rings with more pearls and seed beads. All right, I have all of my pearls on my bracelet, and it's about 3 full coils. She's bouncing around. Don't worry, that's going to lay correctly once it's on the wrist. And I'm going to cut about 1/2 inch in extra. Actually, I'm going to cut about 1 inch in extra wire, and that's because we want to do that same double wrap that we did down here to create a loop. So with memory wire, just like with regular bead stringing, we don't want the bracelet to be too tight, because then it will be kind of out of sorts and just it won't lay correctly. The beads might even snap over time if they're too tight next to each other. Okay, so we have that doubled up. Here's our cute little bracelet. She is just absolutely adorable. A little sweet bangle. If you're a Disney or a princess fan or a Cinderella fan, she is adorable. Now, we have a couple choices. We can leave it just like this, or I can attach a charm to the back, making this button into a charm, which is what I'm going to do. And then I am just going to take a jump ring, a larger jump ring, slip it through the button, and then through my loop, close that up. And we have a super duper cute charm on the back of the bracelet, and we're ready to go. Adorable. Okay, so for our next project, I'm going to be using the Fairy Godmother button. This technique I've used on several Dress It Up videos. I am going to cut off the shank, separate the first 2 layers from the back layer and then glue them together. And that's just so the button will lay nicely or hang nicely on our bracelet. We're making a really cool bracelet with this one, another easy one. I'm going to glue those back together. And then I always take a head pin or an eye pin or a stray piece of wire and just smooth that glue out. And then I'm going to place another dot of glue up at the top. Just like that. And then I have a jump ring. My jump ring I'm going to put right into that glue with the notch or the opening part in the glue itself. Taking my eye pin and kind of smushing that in there and then lifting that glue up and over so it's completely embedded. That glue will level down over time while it dries. And now we're going to have a cute little pendant or a charm from a button. So I'm going to set that aside to dry. I already have one through the magic of television finished. As you can see, that glue did level itself out. I have some really fun periwinkle leather from Leather Cord USA, and it's the exact same color as our button. I also have some more large hole Pandora style beads from Jesse James Beads. And I'm going to put a few on this bracelet. I think maybe 6. I have a larger jump ring that I'm going to put on my charm. And I'm going to slip on 3 of these beads. My charm. And then 3 more of these large hole beads. Super cute. And then I have these little end findings. You can find these from Jesse James Beads. You can find them at your craft store. And I'm just going to slide one end of my cord into that cord end. This is 2mm cord, so you'd need a corresponding 2mm cord end. And then I am going to squeeze. These are squeezable. Some you need glue, but this one will be secured by squeezing it with your pliers. So now you can see that it's been flattened and that is not coming off of our leather. I am going to measure on my wrist how long I need this to be. And I'm going to cut it a little short because I also need some room for the clasp. Close this side up. There we go. And then I have 2 silver jump rings that I'm going to use to connect my clasp. Just a little toggle clasp. And there you go. Easy peasy. And we have a cute little charm bracelet. You can put as many buttons on here, as many beads on here as you'd like, but it's a fast and simple project, especially for those of you who may not be making jewelry yet and you want to incorporate your buttons in new different crafts. So love this. So cute. Our last project is going to be a pair of earrings, and I've done that same technique of gluing a jump ring on the back of both of the mice. Aren't they just the cutest, sweetest little babies you've ever seen? So I've glued a jump ring on the back of each one of these, and I grabbed some of these daisies from Dress It Up, And I'm going to do that same technique where I cut off the center and glue it back on like we did with the fairy godmother button. I've already done that here with this one. And I have a metal hole punch, but this is perfect for plastic. It's perfect for metal and other different mediums. This one is a 1.8 millimeter hole. And I am just going to start that hole in one of the petals of the daisy. Now, it's not going to punch perfectly because this plastic is kind of malleable. So we see that there's a little hole starting there. I'm going to do it again. And it's really just displacing that plastic to the back of the flower. So I'm going to do it a couple times, and then I'm going to take some sharp nippers and kind of cut that off. And I'm going to do that again. Try not to press too hard because you will get an indent in the front of the flower from this plate right here. You can also use a drill, you can use a Dremel, you can use a hand drill, and carefully you could probably use a hot needle, but I would probably shy away from that. Then I have a little file and I'm just kind of poking that through. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes you have to finagle it a little bit, but there we go. I'm going to do the exact same thing right across the flower. There we go. That one only took one because I pressed a little harder that first time. There is a little bit of a notch in the flower petal, but that's okay. I am going to grab a couple of jump rings for each earring. And I have another one that's already finished. I have 2 ear wires, and then we're just going to assemble. And here we go, the cutest, most adorable pair of earrings I think I've ever made. And so happy. They make me so happy. And they're perfect for a beginner, perfect for any stage of jewelry maker you are. An easy way to incorporate your buttons into jewelry. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to Dress It Up for having me back. And I hope you enjoyed the 3 easy projects we made using this Cinderella set. Have a good day. Bye-bye. What are you crying for, huh?